Do you get it? Right. So there we are. We are press record, so we are so welcome to go. So once again, we also would like you to check all our social media tags that you can go and see who we are. Hashtags, hashtag future females, hashtag future females Windhoek, FNB Namibia, the Vintage Coffee Shop, and the Windhoek Express. These are also our event partners, and we are so happy to have them part of us. So please go onto your phones and do these hashtags for us. This is just the outline of tonight's program. You're not going to have a very long program. We really want to give our two speakers the utmost so that they can share with us what we have. We've got Armand Wieland in the house, and we've got Emily Kandanga in the house, and they are really going to nail it tonight because we're in a new era. I think everybody is going online at the moment, and we have to adapt to the new era in our lives. And I think that is so important that we also do that. And yes, I think as we continue, we will really see. And also, I just want to thank our event partners, FNB, the Vintage Coffee Shop, and Windhoek Express. Next month, we're going to have like a lounge set up at Vintage. It also depends on what the president tells us what to do, but I'm 100% sure that we will be able, even if it's just a few people, that we can still go to the Vintage because we really appreciate who they are, what they do, as the Vintage is very important to us. So yes, and then also a big thank you to our two speakers tonight, the Sweet Fitness, Emily Kandanga, and also Armand Wieland from V5 Digital. I just love to work with these two people. They are expert in their fields. They know what they're talking about. And yes, so we are so glad to have you in the house and to be part of Future Females. Then also just meet the team. Here is my lovely team. Unfortunately, some of my team is under the C19 and also their families. And Kazal, that's next to me, she has joined us because I don't like to do things on my own. I love working with my team. So those of you that are not here tonight, just please get well soon. And we just pray that God's protection will be over you and your families. Then who's Future Females? Wow. Future Females, we are really here to 10 times yourself. We're here to multiply. We're here to network. We're here to help you to build your business. So please, this is who we are. We're not anti-men. We're just pro-females. And we also love having men in our house. And tonight you will also listen from the all-famous Armand Wieland because we also love it. And I think we've got quite a few men that's also on the call tonight. Please go onto all our community, go onto Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and also you can go onto our website. That is www.futurefemales.co. Go and check out our website out. Also go and like our pages everywhere. Sign up for our newsletter because we know that we want to keep you up to date with what's going on. So yes, that is so excited. Gazelle, you want to talk to us about what's going on here?
Yes, so we invite you to join the Future Females Founders Club, where ambitious female entrepreneurs get clarity, set massive goals, and make tangible steps towards building their dream businesses. So when you join the Future Females Business Club, you have access to resources, training workshops, toolkits, and live coaching sessions to help you scale your business at only $390 per month. We really encourage you to become part of our club. And I'll drop the link in the chat, or else the link is just on your screen under Future Females Founders Club. It's the HTTPS link over there. So we really encourage all our female entrepreneurs to join our Future Females Founders Club to have access to all of these really amazing and relevant resources. And then also our business school is starting soon, Adele.
Yes.
And this is a school that is just here to help you build your profitable dream business. So our business school is a leading virtual accelerator that has supported over 500 female entrepreneurs to create profitable and purposeful businesses. And like I mentioned earlier, our doors are opening soon, and you can join by visiting the Future Females website. Is that it?
Yes, that's it. I think take a photograph or take a screenshot of this, then at least you've got the link. And we will also be sharing the link with you when we send out the newsletter, and we will also share it on our Future Females Facebook page.
Yes.
So yes, and also I think it is under our Instagram. If
Yes.
you go onto our Instagram account, Future Females Windhoek, you will find the link there. So you can actually just click on the link, and it will take you to the waiting room. And it's on like an application based.
It's application based, yes.
Because we really want to see if you the right fit as a founder of your business. We really want to support you as well.
So pitch your business. If you're starting a business, then Future Females, Pitch Your Business, ladies, is an entrepreneurial platform where we invite entrepreneurs to pitch their business in 180 minutes. So if you'd like to pitch your business, we encourage you to get in contact with Adele. Her email address is adele@futurefemales.co. Because you never know, your next client or your next investor might be sitting in our audience to support you and your new venture.
Yes, we will ask our IT technical manager, Ingo, to put the link in the chat. So it's adele@futurefemales.co, and then you can just catch it over there and you can give us an email. Great. So I would love to introduce our first speaker to you. Now, our first speaker is Emily Kandanga, and I would love to tell you more about Emily. Now, Emily Kandanga, she's the co-founder of Sweet Fitness. She's got an amazing resume. I just absolutely love it. Now, she's a young African entrepreneur with a vision to elevate the health and lives of those around her. Also, she co-founded Sweet Fitness with this exact mission in mind. She's passionate about nutrition, cooking, moving her body, and engaging with her community on various health and fitness related topics. Emily, you can so long share your screen, then we've got you on board. And she also holds an honors degree in project management and is a certified personal trainer, nutrition coach, and a strength and conditioning specialist.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
That's a mouthful, yeah. And then also she prides herself in the ability to leverage movement as a vehicle for inspiration to relentlessly chase after goals, both in and outside of the gym. Now, why did we choose Emily to come and be our speaker for tonight? Well, Emily is going to talk because I know Emily, she was part of our business school. She can also maybe just tell you about her experience being part of the business school. And she absolutely enjoyed it. And she will touch tonight on the challenges faced across the social media platforms. Can you just please switch off the people's videos, please? And then how to plan her content or our content with main themes to go with that, and what has worked really well, strategies and the content themes. And then she will also speak about our experience using paid ads. Now, well, Emily, without any further ado, the floor is yours.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Adele. Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here today and to get to share this. I'm passionate about digital marketing and social media marketing and everything that goes about digital anything. So it's such an honor to be here today. Thank you for having me. I just want to touch a little bit on my experience with the business school before I dive right into my presentation tonight. And if you're pondering about joining, I think it will definitely be worth your while. Being part of the Future Females Business School, for those 8 immerseful weeks, it completely changed my life and trajectory on what I thought about myself in entrepreneurship. So I would definitely encourage you ladies to sign up and grow. Every opportunity to learn is definitely one that we should all take. So getting started on tonight's topic, digital marketing. I'm going to be touching on how we build our presence online, any mistakes and triumphs or lessons that we learned along the way. So, okay. All right, my apologies. I got to move this guy around. There we go. Okay, so my name is Emily, like Adele so beautifully introduced, and I am from Sweat Fitness Namibia. This company was co-founded by myself and two other amazing women, Luando Mufune and Luimba Mufune, and we all share a unique passion for movement and the ability to transform our clients' mental and physical well-being through the power of sweat. Our vision is to be the most recognizable and trusted brand in Africa, inspiring the continent with compassion for all ages, genders, and abilities to become active participants in the trajectory of their health. So for today's agenda, I'll briefly cover platform selection and how we decide to plan our content. We'll also touch on some of the challenges that we face during marketing online. We'll tell you what has worked, and then I'll also touch a little bit on using paid ads. I'm sorry, I always talk in three persons in a we form because I'm part of a team. So like Adele can relate to, we love working in teams. So digital and data technology has opened us all up to powerful ways of working and doing business. Social media is a powerful tool that, when leveraged correctly, can help increase brand awareness, build brand recognition, share key knowledge with your audience in order to empower them, facilitate a relationship between your customers, and ultimately lead to sales. Those are some of the objectives and how we approach our strategy when it comes to social media. There is a goal behind every piece of content or every campaign that we create and run. Social media is so critical, and it's not just a marketing tool. Some of the challenges that some of the channels that you'll find us on are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we also made it a point to make sure that we are visible on LinkedIn, on YouTube, where we mainly make use of it to share workout videos, and also where we host our challenge workouts demonstration videos. So we create 4-week challenges, and in order to make sure that we're touching our audience and giving them the tools to know that they're moving properly, we create demo videos. So YouTube is our main platform where we host these videos and then share the links through our ebooks. And we also thought it would be important to be on Google Business. Now, Google My Business is a free service that every entrepreneur I feel like listening should know about and should definitely get themselves listed on. It's absolutely free to do so, and it empowers your business with the opportunity to be one of the first options to pop up should somebody search for you directly or indirectly. And I think that's such a powerful tool that we should all tap into. When it comes to our audience on these different platforms, our numbers vary. And I think numbers mean nothing if you don't have the engagement and the active audience that will eventually engage with you and eventually lead to sales. So this brings me to the first challenge that we faced when we were dealing with our day-to-day social media. I thought it was important for us to keep in mind that consumers have their own behaviors. And when it comes to, they have their own behaviors when it comes to what they choose to spend their mind, their time, and their money on. So we knew that we had to build this relationship over time. It's not something that's going to happen quickly. We need to rope them in. Well, if I may use such a description, rope them in, educate them, inspire them, motivate them, and then eventually that will lead to some sort of interaction between us. So this is how we ended up developing lead magnets. And this was one of the tools that I learned during the Future Females Business School. So lead magnets help us collect consumer information and build a relationship with them via email marketing. We use a platform called ConvertKit, which we use to host and create our lead magnets or landing pages, and they've been working really, really well. It's quite amazing to see that people are actually clicking on the links, going to the landing pages, and converting through and sharing their contact information with us. This is super encouraging for us because we truly believe that digital is the future, and we think that it's important for our audience to get tech savvy and fit. Another great tool that I feel like my fellow entrepreneurs should definitely look into is Linktree. We use it to house all of our links, and basically it's one link for all of your links. So this is how we ensure that whenever our clients come to our pages and they click on the links, they have access to absolutely everything that we have available to offer. All right, then the choice is up to them. Another challenge that we faced was creating consistent themed content. Our socials were initially run by myself and my co-founder Luimba. So we kind of took turns on different days. And we found that this worked well in terms of splitting the work, but in terms of the look and feel, we weren't necessarily putting off what we wanted. So I thought it was important that we shift away from that and develop a content style and guide that will help us guide our future posts so that one day too, should we hire somebody to finally take over our socials, they have a template that they can use. They know what to post on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and they know where they can be flexible in terms of specials that we're running, where to plug those in. So that really, really saved our workflow there, and it was a great system to put in place. So, and while we're on the topic, make sure that you use Buffer. This scheduler has completely changed the game for us. We use it to create we use it to schedule our content in advance. And that has been an amazing gift. Being able to buy back our time, my time, is such an underrated gift because you're able to place your focus on other things that can actually generate revenue for your business. And you're not like sitting behind a screen creating content all day. All right, so when it comes to creating posts for social media, we made use of our brand colors in order to make sure that we stand out and we're building this brand recognition in our consumers. We create a mix of educational, inspirational, workout videos, meal plans, and recently we introduced a segment called Fit Tip Thursdays, which has been doing really great. It's a segment where we share a 3 to 5 minute long video. We're trying to keep them short, a 3 to 5 minute length video sharing any sort of health or fitness tip. And honestly, there are limitless tips to share. So it's so fun filming this segment and getting to share the information in this way. We have found that video content gets such great engagement and people genuinely want to learn and access this information to better themselves. We also found that posts that call out our audience's not so great habits, like this one, in a humorous light work really well because they get people laughing and becoming aware of something that they may want to work on in a light and humorous manner. So it's like, hey, they're dragging me, but it makes sense. So maybe I should handle this and work on eating my vegetables and drinking my water. So when it comes to using digital ads, we've only run a handful of them. I think because we were a little apprehensive at first to do so. And the first one that we really ran was to promote our boot camp that we were using to launch our business. And this went really well. We actually were able to get in a lot of people who weren't from our main family and friend circle. So that was really great to see that the ads work great that way. Facebook ads is mainly, that's the platform we used for that ad. My takeaway about digital ads is to really make sure that you have a clear set objective as to why you want to run the ad. Okay, don't just do it because, I don't know, you woke up that morning and felt like this could be something to do to excite the day. There has to be an objective. You have to know what is behind it. And then make sure that you know your audience. Who are you talking to? It's so key to be able to pinpoint and target your demographic. So make sure that that is also included in your objectives. Next up, make sure you have quality content. Make sure your piece of video or photo content is of quality. Okay? And then test and iterate. Make sure that you keep trying new things, learn from ads that don't work well. You know, it's a trial basis all the time. I feel like that's what entrepreneurship is, day to day. You're trying it. Is it working? Oh, it's not. Okay, next thing. You know, so approach it with the same energy. And once you've completed your ads, make sure that you take the time to analyze those insights that you've gained from your ad and see how it's also maybe changed your demographic. Have you attracted new people? Are there new audiences that you've tapped into? Okay, I hope, next up. All right, so just some closing thoughts. Digital transformation is happening all around us. And as business owners, I feel like it's really our responsibility to stay on top of those trends and see how we can leverage any new developments to help grow our businesses. Don't let the fear of not knowing a certain skill keep you from trying to figure it out. Okay, no one knows everything, and you only know what you know, and you don't know what you don't know. So commit to always being a student and learn everything you can in every journey that you experience in your entrepreneurship life. Next up and last, make sure that you test, learn, and iterate. This is the formula that will ensure that you're continuously growing and that you and your business are always in that growth cycle. All right, so don't be afraid to try new things. And last off, I'd like to close off with a gift for everyone tuning in today. I would like to gift you our 7-day transformation challenge trial. And this is an ebook that is a compressed version of our full 4-week challenge. And it basically will give you the tools to improve, to get you moving and improve your knowledge on training and nutrition. Trust me, by after the next 7 days, or after the 7 days you complete the challenge, you will have a new lease on how you want to approach movement, and you will probably want to stick to it. And that's all from me today, guys. Thank you for your time.
Wow, what an amazing, let us give you a round of applause. Well done, Emily. I just want to maybe touch on some points. And if there are any questions, I would love to ask you to put it in the chat, and that Emily will ask us anything about what you need to know. And then we will also, Emily will answer them in the chat. Now, Emily, if I can maybe just go by, is that social media, I've got my parrot in the background, so I want you to enjoy it at home. And it's it's my pet, so we're having some background music while we're busy. Also, what I want to share on is like relationships. If you don't have a relationship, you won't get a sale. You won't get people to communicate with you.
That's so true.
You can elaborate on that if you want.
Oh, sure. Yes, relationships for sure. And I think that comes on social media because you are dealing with people through screens. I think the best way to do so is to either educate them, motivate them, or inspire them, and have your content be based around these things so that it's engaging in that way, because you can't reach out and touch them or like sit there and have a chat with them, but you can talk to them through your captions and through the information that you share.
What about hashtags?
Ooh, hashtags. This is an interesting one. We use them, and I believe when Instagram first came out, they were used excessively. I think we were all overdoing it. It was like 100 hashtags under the caption, and over time you refine it and you realize how people search. You pick up on those trends and you see what people are searching, those keywords, and you know where to place them and leverage them for your content.
Yeah, that's true. And also, I think if you want to recognize somebody or want to accolade somebody, is really to use those hashtags. And if you use somebody's content, give credit to them via the hashtags.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Why, in your opinion, is it so important that we use all the social media channels?
I think it's important, maybe not to use all of them because they are so many. Like, if you really think about it, you would kind of be spreading yourself quite thin.
Yeah.
I would say it's important for you to figure out where your target market is hanging out and place yourself in those on those platforms so that you're reaching them. Um, and that's the best when it comes to selecting where to be, and then also how you want to use it. Like I mentioned, for YouTube, we use it for hosting our video demos. So mainly that's the main reason we have a YouTube channel, to be able to link our program video demos through there. So it's also the reasoning behind anything. So it's definitely worth a think through. Not so Don't do it so haphazardly. Initially, we also weren't on Twitter. And then a year into running our business, we realized that this was also a place that young Namibians hang out a lot. And we were like, okay, no, we need to put ourselves there. So also learn as you go.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely for sure. And then you said something about numbers means nothing. It's all about engagement.
Yes, it's true. Numbers really don't mean anything. And whether they're high or low, it's, you could have 1,000 followers and have amazing engagement, and 100,000 followers and no engagement. So you really want to make sure that the people who are following you are engaging with your content one way or the other. Are they sharing it? Are they saving it? Are they, and granted, not all these things can be seen. Only the business owner would know really what is happening in the back end in terms of how people are absorbing the content. But all of those things, all of those metrics matter: the saves, the likes, the shares, especially on Instagram, and the retweets. They all matter.
Yeah. And why is it so important to keep the engagement on the posts when people do comment on a post? And what is your opinion on that?
I think I've seen this, how it works with my personal content and with the business content. It almost pushes that particular piece of content to that person's audience even more, and you're able to be seen by more eyeballs, and that's what you want. Um, yeah, and while we're touching on content, I forgot to mention, Adele, that I think it's also so important for, as entrepreneurs, not to be afraid to repurpose your content sometimes, to put a good year in between it, and then like reuse some of that content, especially if it's really good stuff. I mean, you would have gained new audiences along the way. So, and the message remains the same, and it's equally important and needs to be shared still. So I think it's important to go back and repurpose and bring new life to those ideas.
Yeah. And what about having a content calendar to do posts or even to help you with your advertising?
Yes, a content calendar is definitely needed. We have one set, and then when we have specials, we just work around the content calendar. So if there's, for example, we want to put our resistance bands on sale tomorrow, we would then swap out the post that we had planned for Friday and push that. So that would immediately take priority. So in terms of what would go where.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing. If I may, when I did my How to Master Facebook Like a Pro training course, I
Yes.
actually compiled a 3 months content calendar. And
Wow.
I will then, I think what I'll do is, because this is digital marketing, we're giving it away. So I will, maybe, if I can have your permission, because I know it's your
Sure.
session, but I would love to share that afterwards to everybody that attended this call, and that will give them like an idea.
Mm, I love that. Please do share.
Yeah, thank you. And then another point that you touch on was like consistent content. And you said you like use your buffer and also brand coloring. I think that is so super important that people start knowing who you are, who your brand is, what do you stand for, and why do you really want to bring that content across?
Yes, definitely. Brand colors, and we, when we thought about sweat, I don't know how the colors came about, but it just made sense. We, all three of us were like, yes, black and neon green. Yes. It was just so, I think it's so important to build your brand recognition in that way. Set yourself apart. You know, that's how the big brands do it. You think of that red circle and it's Coke, or you know, it's just, or the red M, it's McDonald's. Colors and
Yeah.
all these things, they matter. So yeah.
And if it doesn't work, change it.
And if it doesn't work, change it. That's so true. Especially when you're in that beginning phase, you know, try it out and don't be afraid. Yeah, don't be afraid to change. I've actually been gotten the opportunity to rebrand our logo, and we all just like looked at each other and we were like, meh. So also know when you have something good.
Oh, wow, that is so excited. And then why did you say, or but maybe elaborate on using creative posts? Um, why is that so successful?
I think using creative posts, how so? Can you
Yeah.
give me, can you, can, can you
Yeah.
elaborate a little, Adele? I think
Yeah, you said using creative posts. Why do you think it's important for someone to use creative posts?
oh, yes. Okay. Well, definitely to kind of give people an opportunity to see something different from what they normally see when they're scrolling on social media, because eventually the content kind of becomes the same across the board with people from different industries. So tap into your creativity, figure out a new way to show something, to highlight something, to teach something, and definitely leverage that. Creativity is key. We should all be tapping into it every day.
Yeah, and also I think it also will help for the algorithms, because we've heard this swear word of the algorithms that are on media. And we all know with Mark Zuckerberg, he just loved messing around with everybody's algorithm. And you see one person's post 100 times over and
Yes.
over and over. And when you open up your feed, oh no, not this person again. Oh no, post again. How do you get around that?
Wow, that's really, that's where I feel like things like saves and shares and reposts come into play, to kind of help push you to that level of being that person that's seen every time when somebody opens the app. You know, you want to be that person. You want to be that brand or that being seen like that. That's, I think that's great.
And I think that's where the creativity come from, and where you sometimes share content, you share to get the feedback, the engagement. That's why by beating the algorithms, you really have to be very creative in placing your post, doing your post, whatever you
Hmm.
do. Not
And
share,
timing.
yeah, timing, and not too many memes and not other people's content. Use your own content.
And not other people's pictures. That was also another thing that I was so adamant about from the get-go. I was like, we are not about to say fitness on like Unsplash and then use all those pictures. I was like, we need our own content.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's an amazing tool called canva.com, where you can, it's a free designing program. I just love canva.com, because
Yes.
now maybe you can type in there for us www.canva.com. Ingo, there's somebody in the waiting room. I'm just getting my team here with me. And then what canva.com, what is so amazing with canva.com is there you can create your amazing photographs. You can take photographs. You can make beautiful content. It's got exactly the same size that you need for Facebook, for LinkedIn, for Twitter, for Instagram. You can really do amazing, amazing design on Canva.
Yes. I also swear by Canva, Adele. We've been using it from the get-go. Love
Yeah.
it. Love it. And my presentation was on Canva, presented via Canva. It's a great app.
Like ConvertKit also, it is a free
Yes.
application, and convertkit.com, that's also an amazing free tool that you can use. You can upload your data list, your email lists. You can do landing pages, thank you pages. If you don't have a website, ConvertKit is the tool to go.
Yes.
And I love ConvertKit. Future females use ConvertKit. I use it in my own business. I actually used it to send emails to everybody at this stage. So I just love ConvertKit. And you've got the most amazing videos. We call it Dr. YouTube, or no, this is to YouTube. So there you can get quite an amazing lessons how they can train you how to use ConvertKit.
Yeah, there's information everywhere. Just be willing to look for it. Look for it.
Yeah, and test and learn and iterate. Test and learn and iterate. And I think that's the key.
Love it. Definitely. Keep going, keep trying. If that first ad doesn't work, that's okay. What did you learn from it? Every opportunity, every experience is a learning experience, a learning opportunity.
Yeah. Emily, any last point from your side?
No, that is all, Adele. Thank you so much. I just want to encourage everyone to go ahead and download that 7-day free trial ebook and get yourself moving. The full ebook is about 60 pages long. This is a 30-pager compressed version. And it's just a little tease, and it will get you moving for 7 days. There's absolutely something for you to do on each and every day. So try it out. And then there's a special discount code at the end if you complete your 7 days to purchase the full program.
Wow. Yeah, that's an amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I will also, you have to open up your chat. We've got all the links we've placed in the chat. So,
Yes.
oh, wow, Emily, that was such a powerful, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you to everyone listening.
You're welcome. Wow, wasn't that amazing, Future Females? This is what we're here for. We give free advice. This is what you will also learn from our Founders Club. So make sure in the chat, we popped in the Founders Club. There's a link. You can just go and get the link and go to the Founders Club and go sign up, because you will really, really see how amazing this is. So, Armin, you can get ready. You can start sharing your screen while I introduce you. We are so amazing and so blessed to have Armin in the house. Now, Armin has been with us last year. He was also virtually. And we told him this time, no, Armin, we're going to have a live event. And here comes lockdown in our faces. But I love it, because this is what digital marketing is about. You have to adapt. You have to make sure. And I remember last year when the president told us about, I have to share this with you. I think you all will enjoy it so much. We were the first chapter of 50 chapters throughout the world of Future Females. I forgot about tell you that. Yeah, we are 70,000 strong, people strong in the whole Future Females community. And then what happened is, a week before our event, we had to go live and we had to do the Zoom one. And we went on Zoom, and what happened? We were hacked. So we had Nigerians in, they were just showing themselves in all forms and parts. We had to shut down and we restarted within 15 minutes or 5 minutes. I think it was about
It was 5 minutes.
So we really learned the hard way, and then we learned Zoom and we learned all the tricks of the trade. So we are so excited. So and then Armin came the next event. Then Armin was also online. So Armin, hopefully one day we will have you at the live event. But how so? Let me introduce you, Armin. I just love Armin. He's such an amazing person to tap from, to work with. And he's an experienced digital marketer with a demonstrated history of working across industry verticals. He is passionate about the disruptive opportunities offered by digital transformation and the customer centricity possibilities of marketing automation. He is exceptionally proud of the growing number of customer trailblazers utilizing the services and experiences of the V5 digital platform. And I can absolutely vouch for that. I've been watching some of his online stuff and wow, I just love it. And then he likes to spend his free time farming, teaching his Alsatian Gulliver. You must tell me what that is, Armand. I forgot to ask you. New tricks, and he also loved traveling internationally. Well, I vouch on that one because I also love that. And then especially to Dreamforce, and then Arma actually loves to kite surf, although he keeps falling off his board. Oh, that's so amazing. And then Armin is going to share with us tonight, keeping up with the latest trends of the change in social media. And then he will also share the recent upcoming platform changes, which are likely to affect specifically your brand on social media. And I think now with the ISO 14 specification, also restrictions that came in onto Facebook and all the social media platforms, if you're not up to date, I mean, you're going to lose out big time. And then also email marketing. We had to plan around email marketing. And that's even become even more. And also to master this balance, I think just Armin has got such an amazing power content that he's going to share with us. So Armin, the floor is yours. Enjoy and thank you for being with us once again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I'm a little bit under the weather, but I believe we should be able to pull through. So again, thank you for Adele and the team to have me on tonight. It's really a privilege to be here, and I really hope that you're going to learn one or two things. So what I will do, I'll start off with a clip called "The Dawn of the Digital Marketer," just to kind of set the scene, and then from there on we'll go into the slides and essentially, yeah, start taking those away. So if there are any questions along the way, please do use the chat functionality on Zoom to ask those questions, so that either during the presentation, but preferably towards the end, that we can try and attempt answering them. We might not have all the answers, but I think let's keep those questions coming. And in the meantime, just sit back, relax, take it all in. I have got quite a few slides. I have trimmed them down a little bit because time is quite limited. So I have hidden quite a few of the slides, which I thought was not too relevant for tonight's audience. But with that, I'm going to start my video.
You've got time, so enjoy it.
Thank you. All righty.
We can't help ourselves. We love to discover patterns in everything. In everything we do. In everything that surrounds us. And everything that makes us who we are. So we can better understand what makes people tick. And more importantly, what makes them click. This thinking has taken us pretty far. But what about tomorrow? Traditional marketing continues to segment, stereotype, and categorize everyone, attempting to understand just who is out there and what they want. Something happened. People don't want to be categorized any longer. You saw this change coming. You could see it was only a matter of time before the demographic as we know it would fade away. Over 7 billion of us are out there, and every last one of us, a unique story. In our search for commonality, we discovered something amazing. People in the center of their worlds, on their own journeys. We now have the ability to customize their world, their way. The power to understand every story, enhance every journey, and make every single customer the center of their universe. The lines of CRM are blurring, and technology has finally caught up with your desire to connect with every customer in a profound new way. The one-to-one connection is the new demographic, and success is just a few clicks away. The dawn of the digital marketer is here. Welcome to a whole new era of marketing. This is your moment.
All righty, hope you enjoyed this little clip. It is about 3 years old, so it's not the latest clip anymore, but I believe it's still very, very relevant, especially for tonight's conversation. It is, in fact, the dawn of the digital marketer, also to what Emily was alluding to. And I think what's very important in the clip is that I think traditional marketing is definitely dead. We are in a digital first world, and also it's about that segment of one. So having that complete 360-degree view of the customer becomes more and more important for companies and brands. So I think the better you know your customer, ideally on an individual basis, and that's why we have all these wonderful tools and systems out there that can help us with that, the better, because a customer no longer wants to be, if they call a company, so they actually would like to be recognized as, for instance, as Adele. And I think that's going to be more and more important going forward. So that's just the introduction. So welcome from my side again. My name is Armin from V5 Digital. Just going to run you very quickly through what we do. So we solve business challenges by providing digital marketing strategy and tech solutions to help our customers and clients reach and excite their customers and consumers. We are passionate about a lot of things, so they're all listed here at the bottom. I'm not going to go through in detail. It's not going to be a sales talk tonight, but we really approach each of our customers and clients uniquely. And we always like to start off with actually building a great digital strategy for them. And then from there on, depending on how it all fits in, we will be able to offer our customers and clients then custom-made solutions according to what they need and what is important for them. So tonight, we don't know if we only have there's no discount or anything, but for those of you that are on Twitter, you're more than welcome to tweet using the hashtag V5Digital. And then one lucky viewer will stand a chance to win a Moleskine type diary. We have ordered them. They should be ready by next week. So I would encourage all of you to participate and tweet, for those of you that are on Twitter, using the hashtag V5Digital. Maybe tweet about what you've learned tonight or how excited you are. Doesn't quite matter as long as you use that hashtag V5Digital. Righty, so as Adele and Giselle were alluding to, so essentially my presentation is kind of a 2-in-1. So we're going to do a little bit of digital marketing trends, focusing mostly on platform changes on the social media side. As indicated, I've trimmed the presentation quite a bit, as it was just too large. So you might see that, or you might ask yourself later on, hey, why didn't you talk about that? And it's very likely that I've actually hidden that particular slide then. So without further ado, I'm just going to go through one by one and essentially then try and explain to you what some of the implications are. One of them, a big one, I'm not sure how many of you are on iOS or having an Apple phone, but those of you that have recently upgraded might have seen that notification on your iOS that there were quite a huge changes there. So both Facebook and IG are now showing notifications urging iOS users to authorize these features, which will allow them to see more personalized ads while still supporting businesses and keeping the apps free. So for instance, on my side, I also got that notification and I actually said, yes, allow, you can continue tracking me because I am a digital marketer and it's in our interest that we have tracking enabled. But on the other hand, I think those of you that are trusting the Apple ecosystem, I think that's actually a great move because it really, essentially blocks all the apps from tracking you all the time and showing you content which might not always be too relevant in your case. And I think very importantly, if you are a marketer, it's important that you know about these changes, even if you are on Android yourself, that you, because there are some tips and tricks on how to navigate around those. So as a marketer, it's important to know that, that these changes, were coming or actually now in implementation mode already. And it's important that you, I would say, find ways to navigate around that. And just some emoji updates. So I'm not going to go through all in detail here, but I think there's new and revamped emojis, including mixed race couples. There's the ability to unlock your phone with a face mask on, ability to unlock your phone with an Apple Watch. There's now AirTag support, dual SIM 5G support, call silencing for unknown numbers, and also much more about the whole app tracking and transparency. By the way, I'm not seeing the chats. I still see them coming in, but I can't read them at this point in time. So I will just answer those questions later on. Adele and Ingo and Giselle, if there's anything important, let me know, then I do stop. But for now, I'll just continue running through the slides. So Facebook also recently announced a new audio app to actually take on Clubhouse. We're going to have a slide about Clubhouse a little bit later, as well as push into podcast aided by Spotify. The plan includes an audio-only version of Messenger Rooms, the video chat feature Facebook introduced last year to compete with Zoom video communications, for instance. Facebook will also add a Clubhouse-like product that allows users to talk on a virtual stage and a feature that lets users post voice messages on their news feeds. Furthermore, it will launch a podcast discovery product in connection with Spotify. So I believe that's really exciting news and really looking forward to that rollout. This one is quite an important slide. So Facebook releases more information about its algorithm. Emily and Adele were talking about the algorithm earlier on, that it changes all the time. So first, Facebook takes every post available in a user's network, i.e. the inventory, and scores those posts according to predetermined ranking signals like type of post, recency, etc. Next, it discards posts that a user is unlikely to engage with based on that user's past behavior. It also demotes content that users don't want to see, for instance, clickbait, misinformation, or content that they indicated that they don't like. Then it runs a more powerful neural network over the remaining posts to score them in a personalized way. And then finally, it arranges a nice cross-section of media types and sources so that a user has an interesting variety of posts to scroll through. The 4 key rankings factors, just to summarize, is relationship, content type, popularity, and recency. And then did you know that the average engagement rate in 2020 for an organic Facebook post was 0.25%? And that number drops to 0.08% for those of you with more than 100,000 followers. So I think that's just very, very key. So if you are out there, if you're a brand and you're creating amazing content every day, it's very important to realize and to know that Facebook and its associated networks like Instagram is indeed now a complete pay-to-play platform. So obviously content is very important. What Emily has been alluding to earlier, but we're actually not going to get away anymore with without actually boosting posts. Again, not saying you have to boost every post, but I think one has to be very strategic about it, to really play around with it. What posts am I boosting, which am I not boosting, and who am I actually targeting? Am I targeting my own followers and their friends? Is it more granular targeting regarding people I actually want to reach? So I think the bottom line on this slide is really that I think we have to realize that if you've got a page of 10,000 followers, that less than 1% will actually definitely less than 1% will see those posts organically. So you need to boost the content so that people can actually see it. Instagram shoppable reels. So as of November 2020, viewers can now select the view products button to either buy, save, or learn more about the featured products. People can tap the shopping bag icon on the bottom of the screen to access your product list. This is great for retail and also for creators, and this is similar to your Instagram shop and your Facebook marketplace. That option is available worldwide, and paid options are available. On the Instagram guides, so IG has launched a new format for sharing curated scrollable content called Instagram Guides. The new feature gives users an easier way to share and consume helpful recommendations and tips in an easy to digest format. That's great for retail and travel, and it's similar to blogging and similar as content repurposing. You would see that little icon there on the right-hand side to access that. Available worldwide and no paid format as of yet. Instagram story captions. So Instagram now has captions stickers for stories, which will automatically transcribe speech and videos. The sticker will be available only in English and English-speaking countries for now, but will eventually roll out to other languages and countries. Instagram says it will also start testing automated captions in Reels soon. Captions have been available in IGTV and the Threads app, and Instagram says it's adding them to stories and Reels to make them more efficient and inclusive to watch. The feature should be a welcome addition for people who are deaf or hard of hearing, or are not native English speakers who just generally watch videos without sound. Moving on to YouTube. I'm not sure why this, here we go. All right, so rollout of YouTube Shorts. As of September 2020, it's available worldwide, no paid version currently available. So YouTube Shorts is YouTube's response to the rise in popularity of short form video on platforms like TikTok. A YouTube Short is a vertical video, a 9:16 aspect ratio that takes up the entire mobile screen and can be up to 1 minute in length, offering a different kind of viewing experience for the platform's users. It's great for education. It's great for education and creators, and it's similar to TikTok and your IG Reels. Twitter Spaces. So Twitter launched Spaces a few weeks ago, a feature that allows users to join virtual rooms where they can engage in real-time audio conversations with others. Testing began in November last year, and now they're rolling out the feature globally to iOS and Android Twitter users who have more than 600 or more followers. Spaces is one of the early entrants in a fast-growing market for live audio-only conversations. See the Clubhouse slide later on. And here's how it works. So Twitter users will see purple bubbles appear at the top of their timelines when live conversations are happening. Users will be able to tap on those purple bubbles to join a space. Once inside, users can tweet or direct message the space host or request to speak. It's great for education, it's great for influencers and creators, and it's similar to Clubhouse. Twitter fleets, I think by now, most of us that are on Twitter have maybe at least done one fleet so far. So sometimes tweeting is uncomfortable, and because it feels so permanent, there's like, it feels like there's so much pressure. That's why, unfortunately, there are so many tweets left in drafts. To help people feel more comfortable, they've created a lower pressure way for people to talk about what's happening. It's great for consumers, it's great for behind the scenes, and I think I would encourage all brands and business owners to use that if you haven't tried that already. And it's very similar to your Instagram stories and your Facebook stories. It's available worldwide, and organic fleets only for now. Whereas, for instance, on IG you can promote your story. On Twitter that is organic for now, so you actually can't promote the particular fleet. LinkedIn newsletters, that is still to be launched, not yet available in Namibia, and also no paid version currently available. So LinkedIn has added the ability to create newsletters to members. To see if you have access to create a newsletter, click write an article at the top of the homepage. If you have access, you will see the create a newsletter. The difference between an article and a newsletter is when you publish an article, it goes into your timeline. Your connections only discover it by scrolling through their feed. When you publish a newsletter, your subscribers get notified, increasing the chance of people seeing and consuming your content. So we believe it's great for email marketers, for engagement, for building authority, and also for generating leads. As indicated, I believe this one is not yet available for us in Namibia. Then moving on to the whole WhatsApp debacle. I was supposed to do a poll, but I didn't get to it as yet. So I actually wanted to maybe you can let us know if any of you actually changed to another messaging platform because of the WhatsApp user changes. So the popular messaging platform is working on 3 different playback speed options for voice notes on both Android and iOS. The options will be 1.0, 1.5, or 2.0 speeds. It is actually live on iOS. So those of you that are using WhatsApp voice notes a lot, like myself, it's amazing because if you listen to another person, I normally have my default setting on 1.5, meaning that it's just faster to actually listen to a particular voice recording. It is, I would say, on twice the speed. It's a bit too fast, but yeah, I think 1.5 speed is amazing. It really helps a lot. Then the whole discussion regarding WhatsApp and Telegram, etc. So a lot of people did move to WhatsApp, to Telegram when WhatsApp announced that it is going to share the information with its parent company, Facebook. So Telegram is on a trajectory towards 1 billion users active each month by the end of 2021, up from roughly 550 million currently. However, they have more than $1 billion in debt and are on a race to monetize the app. Signal, on the other hand, just surpassed 102 million installs worldwide, and there are 61 million downloads of Signal that have happened in 2021 alone. It also has a 310% increase in overall Signal downloads in 2020. So with that, just want to go through in detail on these slides here, but it seems that a lot of people have temporarily moved from WhatsApp to maybe Telegram, maybe Signal, maybe like native apps like, for instance, on Apple, the iMessage. But we see that, well, first of all, we don't have data available in Namibia. But from other countries, I've, for instance, read an article yesterday on German data. There's been quite a move away from WhatsApp, but a lot of consumers are actually now returning to WhatsApp because they realize that either the other apps, for instance, Telegram has probably the same kind of in data protection issues, and or they just realize that half of the friends or business partners that they need to communicate are actually not on, for instance, a Telegram or a Signal. So it would be interesting to hear from the audience later on. Maybe you can put that in the chats along. Have you moved from WhatsApp to Telegram or elsewhere? And what was your experience? And are you having both apps or 3 apps now, or are you have you permanently moved away from WhatsApp? Quickly on the Google side, so there's essentially constantly Google algorithm updates, but the one I would like to talk about here is that upcoming algorithm changes include an emphasis on a combined factor named page experience when determining how websites will be ranked in your search engine result pages. And then mobile first indexing is expected to go full force. So factors to consider if you have a website, mobile friendliness is key. The site needs to be an HTTPS site. You will see it at the top of, of your browser, that that if it's a non-secure site or just a normal HTTP site, you will normally get a warning that this site might not be secure. Safe browsing is key, and also core web vitals. So the core web vitals report, and we can give you that link later on. It's an excellent place to start getting a sense of how your site is performing in these areas. Again, I'm not sure how many of you have their own businesses, how many of you have their own websites, but if you do, that's definitely something we would like to look into. Lastly, on these slides here, Clubhouse cheat sheet. So it's a new type of social media network based on voice, where people around the world come together to talk, listen, and learn from each other in real time. And the payoff line could be, what if Twitter was a podcast you lived inside of? So Clubhouse launched along with COVID in March 2020, and the app offers a page full of conversational topics to follow, from sports to tech to world affairs to faith to hustle, and on and on. So just some consideration, it's currently still on iOS only, and it's by invitation only. So if you do sign up to the Clubhouse app, you will actually not have access unless someone of your friends will actually let you in. No pictures or video. And despite the initial use of influencers, Clubhouse is likely to remain brand light for a while yet. And like many new social platforms, ads and how marketers can leverage ads come last. Some of the features, it lets you create and join rooms where you can chat with others in a conference call. You cannot share pictures, videos, or even text. All you can do is talk, and users can join and leave the call at any time too. Again, would be interesting to see if any of you are on Clubhouse, have experienced it, have maybe hosted a talk or participated in a talk. Let us know in the chat so that we can have a discussion about it later on. With that, I would like to kind of go to the second half of my presentation. Adele and team, I hope you're still okay there, doing good for time. Should we take a quick break and maybe take some questions, or should I carry on with the 50 best practices for email marketing?
You can run through. We'll take everything at the end.
Fantastic. All right. So the following slides are from our partners at Salesforce. So maybe something I didn't mention in the beginning. We at E5 Digital are a proud Salesforce consulting partner. Salesforce, as you might know or not know, is the world's #1 CRM, and essentially making sure it doesn't matter where you're, so across your organization, across your marketing, your sales, your IT, your service, that you as an organization have that, what we call the 360-degree view of the customer. So the next slide, just a bit of a warning, maybe I'm going to jump through. I'm not going to go through each topic or each best practice, because I think some of them might not be relevant for you. So just bear with me that I'll either jump through some of the slides or might not actually touch on some of the points. Maybe just something to consider. So those of you that are new in digital marketing, and well, these are American figures, so from the Data and Marketing Association. So that they claim that for every $1 spent on email marketing, the average ROI, meaning the return on investment, is $44, meaning 44 times. It is a very high number. But maybe from our side, what I can vouch for from a DV5 digital point of view. So some of you I know are getting our monthly newsletter. We do see, very good traction on that currently. And yeah, so I think from a digital marketing point of view, your email marketing is still your channel with your highest ROI, much higher than your, for instance, than your social media marketing. Maybe people, maybe someone from the audience can explain to us why that's the case, and then we can, I'll give my kind of expert view on that later on why that's the case. So I'm going to run through some of these slides because I think they're not all that applicable. I think very important is you need to get your users' permission. So be explicit about what subscribers are opting into. Clearly ask permission to send promotional emails. Keep opt-in boxes unchecked by default and explain how the permission will be used. Whenever you collect addresses, ensure your customers are informed before agreeing to your terms. So this is just best practice. I know there are not really rules currently governing this in Namibia. In South Africa, the POPI Act came recently into effect, where you're actually not allowed to send someone, for instance, an email or an SMS without an explicit opt-in. But we don't have these rules in Namibia. So currently, it's still a bit of a cowboy country regarding that. But I think just from just best practice to actually get your users permission and ask them and kind of just explain to them what is what they can expect. Next up is set expectations. So tell customers that the benefits of opting in. Describe what you will provide in exchange for the information. Say why it's valuable. Explain how often you will hear from you. And anything else they should know. Immediately after the subscriber opts in, send them a confirmation email reiterating the perks. Champion quality over quantity. So rather have great content. Make goodbyes easy. So email marketers never want to hear goodbye. But for customers, it should be short and sweet and easy to accomplish. Make unsubscribing possible with one click, while also giving options for controlled preferences like frequency and type of content. And unsubscribe is better than a spam complaint. Let the unengaged go. So a lot of email platforms, for instance, internally, we are currently using SharpSpring, which is a email marketing automation CRM tool, in a way similar to ConvertKit, I believe, that Future Females are using. But for instance, there's a feature that if somebody doesn't read your emails, it will actually automatically suppress those emails delivery going forward. So you can either do it manually, or some people have that as a built-in functionality that if people are not engaging with your content, that they actually, they won't actually get your emails. They might be on your email sent to list, but actually the system won't send to them unless you change that setting later on. But again, I think that's something which is a great feature of these modern email marketing systems, just to make sure that we're not sending email to somebody that is actually not engaging with your content. And warm up your IP address. That might be a little bit too technical for some of you in the audience right now. But if you send an email to every prospect in your database right away, it'll raise a red flag or spam monitors. Start off with your best list to build a reputation. Keep volume proportionately low during the first week. That way you can spot issues with initial sends before more emails bounce. Next, form a plan for increasing sending volumes until you reach your goal. So I think that's something we can't stress enough. So if you are new to email marketing and you're using a tool, there are many tools out there. As I said, internally we use SharpSpring. We are also going to use Salesforce for our customers, but there are many tools out there like Constant Contact, and ConvertKit, MailChimp, you name it. But I think it's important that you do warm up your IP address, that you don't, for instance, if you've got 100 subscribers or maybe 1,000 subscribers, that you don't say, okay, now I actually want to send that all at once to them. But especially if you're new to email marketing, just really, keep it slow and slowly release those emails to ensure they're not bouncing. Be consistent that that speaks for itself. Set up authentication. This is very important. Again, we can't stress that enough. Again, it might sound too technical for you right now, but it's very, very important that you do that. If you do, if you do want to go big into email marketing. So email authentication verifies that the mail your business sends is actually from you. It protects your reputation from spammers who could process the organization. Your email service provider can help you set up rules that determine how your emails are sent. So fraudulent senders can't imitate you. And then most mail servers use systems called sender policy framework, domain keys, or domain keys identified mail to do this. And then a fun fact is that 81% of customers say they love or like having a spam filter for email. Designing for maximum impact. I think that's all about, that I think Emily was hammering on that earlier on, which is great. That the design needs to be amazing, that people are so busy that you actually, you as the brand, can cut through the clutter and make an impact. Again, I'm not going into too much detail through all of them. Have a design methodology, plan your template, and keep the journey in mind. I believe that's very important. Account for mobile, that's maybe the one I want to stress the most here. So make sure your email looks great on any device and for every email client. Provide an elegant mobile experience, beginning with your initial welcome email. Include any links and web pages while you edit. The world is increasingly mobile first, so these things do matter. Another fun fact here, 73% of customers prefer to use email when communicating with companies. Another thing you might want to try is that you test your email without images. So you've got 5 seconds to get your subscribers' attention, maybe less, make it count. Test with images turned off to see what your emails looks like with a reconnection. Is there still content to read right away? Is the call to action still apparent? So you might have seen it if you do email marketing yourself, that a lot of the browsers, especially like an Outlook, for instance, and especially if you send emails to corporates, the download pictures might be disabled by default, meaning that the consumer will just get a blank email without the pictures. And I think that's what this point wants to focus on, that. So if people are not downloading your pictures, is the email still relevant? Are the links still working? Is it still a pleasure to read that particular email? Preview and review, very important. So you likely already previewed every message before hitting send. Make sure that process considers every different variable. If you include dynamic content, check the different permutations. If your message is complex, build a checklist to catch everything as you review. Maybe those that do not know what dynamic content is, so in email marketing, the modern email marketing systems, you can actually enable dynamic content, meaning that depending on what that persona is, you might, your email, you can actually have different images for different personas set up. So this is a great tool just to ensure that, and kind of linking back to what I said earlier about the one-to-one relationship and the 360-degree view of the customer, and that everybody in this day and age is essentially a segment of one, that you use dynamic content if you can, to ensure that the content that reaches a particular consumer is very much, tailor cut to that person's needs and past interactions of past browsing behavior with you and your business. Delivering meaningful content, stay relevant, tell a story, keep it simple, grab their attention. Again, I'm not going to go to too much detail here. I think that here we're talking about subject lines, and subject lines are often truncated depending on the device or service provider. So limit them to 50 characters or fewer. And another fun fact here is that 88% of consumers will share relevant information about themselves for exclusive offers and discounts. A few more tips here, we're almost done. Include a pre-header. So pre-header is the text that follows the subject line in an email preview. It can be as important as the subject line itself. Make it a call to action to use it as a short summary of the email content. Just make sure it supports the subject line. Limit pre-headers to about 100 characters. So pre-header, you might have seen it, especially on mobile or on Gmail. You would, if you go through your Gmail, you would see that Gmail will actually tell you, okay, this is the pre-header of a particular email. So make sure that you make that one count, that you don't leave it blank or fill it with things that are not relevant. Because often a consumer, as we mentioned earlier, only has about 5 seconds to decide if that email is good or not good. And I think if you have relevant pre-header text which is interesting and relevant, then it's much likelier than that a consumer will actually open up that particular email. Then number 40, I think we can't say or re-emphasize rather how important this is. So test variances in the pre-header, body, and specific content blocks of an email. Try out different send days and times. Compare performance of different subject lines. This A/B testing shows how subscribers respond to important email elements, including subject lines of varying length or content personalization. Pick the winner, but never be afraid to run another test. Just an interesting fact here that the more and more email marketing platforms now have what we call built-in AI or built-in artificial intelligence, meaning that while you can definitely do this manually, the more advanced platforms, for instance, I know that on the Salesforce marketing side, we have that feature that you can have AI enabled. It obviously comes at quite a cost, but that the system will then actually determine the best subject line for a particular consumer, or the system based on prior sending experience will determine what is the best date and time to send an email to, for instance, to Adele versus Emily versus Giselle versus Ingo. So these are just some exciting features that are coming out on the email marketing platforms, and I believe that more and more email marketing platforms will actually adopt that going forward. Maybe just one or two on this slide I would like to emphasize. So embrace automation. So perfect candidates for automated messages are lifecycle series like onboarding, re-engagement, or friendly messages on birthday and anniversaries. These messages may be complementary to your newsletters and other sends. Use them to make your job easier. For instance, you could then send a trigger on your system and say, okay, if it's someone's birthday, automatically send them an email. Or other forms of automation could be that sending them an email, they're clicking on a certain article or a certain link, then do follow up with another email with a similar article or with a specific call to action. Make it personal. I think that's this one can't be overemphasized. So you've got the consumer data. You know your audience well. Now you can personalize anything from simply including first names to complex messages individualized for each subscriber. Personalization doesn't have to be complicated either way. Start simple with what you have today and build from there. And the fun fact here is that customers are 2.1 times more likely to view personalized messaging as important. So if you can, always personalize the subject line, for instance, hi Adele, A, B, and C, and also in the salutation, if you can personalize there, that's always great. And also, I think one has to learn from previous interactions. So one example, for instance, would be the Future Females event. Adele might have sent out an email to 1,000 people on a database. and maybe to indicate that there's this amazing talk this Thursday evening at 1800 hours. And then she would like to obviously send out a follow-up message just to remind people that this talk is still on, so you better register now. And best practice is there to actually see, okay, automatically take those people off that have already registered, because if you have already registered and you're getting another reminder, that sometimes feels a little bit odd. So I think just make it personal there, and also use with the automations that are available in the email marketing platforms to ensure that you're not bothering people if they've already actually done what you've asked them to do. I think with that, I would like to end my slideshow. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, I would like to maybe take the odd questions from the audience.
Yes, thank you so much. That was such an insightful, amazing presentation. I see we have a question in the chat, so I don't know if you quickly want to have a look at the chat, and then maybe while I put up my screen, then you can maybe answer that one that's in the screen.
Right.
There, on the chat, yeah.
Perfect. All right, I'll try to do that. Okay. Is it one from Abasha, right?
Yes.
Just a quick one. Would you say placing an WhatsApp ad and loading up to 50 posts, does it reach target? I've noticed that people mostly do the first 5 to 10. I'm actually not sure if I understand your question, Abasha.
Abasha, maybe you can just unmute yourself and ask your question.
What I was trying, can you hear me?
We can hear you, Abasha. Yes, thank you for your
Okay.
question.
I know what I was trying to ask is, I've noticed that if you, for example, load your ads or whatsoever on WhatsApp and load even up to 20 or so, from my experience, if you come to the last, you would see that the views would end up at 1 or 2, and the first 5 would maybe get up to 100 viewers, meaning that you only reach target on the first ones. And if you go on loading more and more, at the end of the day, people don't get to view what you are actually sharing with them. And it's as if you are talking to yourself. So what would your advice be on that specific one? That is just my thought based on what I've seen from personally. If I load my ads on my business WhatsApp, that my last WhatsApp, if you have to look at the volume of people viewing it from the beginning to the last one, it always drops. So I think it's always best, if you really want to reach a specific target and drop a message, to stick to a specific number that you know that, okay, this is what people will get and this is what I would want to give through, and maybe tomorrow continue again, because loading a whole bunch at the same time, to me, is not doing me that well. Just my thought.
Right. Abasha, to be honest, I can do a bit of, I'm going to actually screenshot your question, because I think it's a great question. You said that's WhatsApp for business, right? So,
yes.
I haven't tried that myself or ourselves inside here at V5 Digital. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a bit of a look on that one, and then we'll definitely get back to you. But I don't want to give you an answer now on the air, which is might not be the correct answer.
I will just drop my email address on chats, and maybe we can take it up on email.
Fantastic. Okay, Abasha, thank you so much for your question. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Abasha. Yes, that is absolutely amazing. I think the world of digital marketing, Armin, Namibia is not there. I must be honest, some companies are there, but I think it's an untapped industry for Namibians.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I think, yeah, as you know, I'm quite passionate about digital marketing. So I believe the sky is the limit. And I think for us, it's always the, can I say, the fight between, you know, I think, you know, we have a lot of clients that are wanting to get there, but I think you have to completely embrace it and actually trust the system that it, you know, that it will be fine, that it will be amazing. Because I think a lot of clients, especially, and again, not saying anything about anyone in the audience, if you're from an older crowd, but, especially those that do come from a strictly traditional marketing, often, because you don't understand, the metrics and how it works, and it's almost too good to be true what everybody's telling you. And I think there are also obviously also a lot of fly by nights out there that are promising the world and not maybe delivering. That's why you might maybe a little bit skeptical. But I do personally think that there's a lot of potential for a lot of players in the market to really help businesses and companies, what we say, then transform to the power of digital.
That's absolutely true, because I remember when I started out with marketing, we didn't have Facebook. I think that was the era when text, SMS text just came out. So you didn't even have that. You was only limited to email, and then the phone call, and then you had to dish out pamphlets at the corner of every street. You hit the post office, you used the newspapers, and then the radio came in, and wow, when Facebook hit, I think, and then you couldn't do any business on Facebook, and then slowly but surely the whole thing, and then your organic reach on Facebook was still very good when I still had my business, but oh boy, it's been changing, and if you don't keep up, you're just absolutely going to lose out. You have to keep up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just quickly want to touch base here and there. Also in the training that I've been giving lately, there are so many things going on around the OS 14 changes. But I think if you're not really worried about tracking and also the metrics, I think then the iOS 14 you can get away with, but you can't really do any conversion ads if your iOS 14 is not properly installed on your Facebook page. And also, and what I also loved about the Facebook now is the new business suite that they've got, that you can really have your all-in-one platform with your Instagram, with Facebook, to see exactly what's going on in there.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No, I do agree with you, Adele, regarding the tracking. I think because it's complicated, people often then kind of shy away from the tracking, but I believe that's something, especially if you've got a bit more time, a bit more resources, do it, because that's really where the power comes in. So if you've got the tracking set up, then you just know much better your conversion rates. You can do retargeting, remarketing. So I mean, to your point, you don't really need it, but again, I think I would like to explain it as such. So if you don't have the tracking enabled, you would promote people to view it again and again and again. But if you've got your tracking set up, then actually you need to maybe promote it once, but then you can use other methods, for instance, like retargeting, to ensure they're actually converting. So yeah, it's sometimes a bit tricky, and I guess that's where people like you and me come in, and Emily, to assist our audience on that, and how to actually set that up and to ensure that the tracking works correctly, and that it does actually work in your businesses and in your brand's favor.
Now, that is absolutely true. And just to maybe just mention Clubhouse, Future Females has got their own Clubhouse channel. So yeah, and what I've also recently discovered is that your big guys, top marketers in the world, they are slowly but surely a little bit off Clubhouse at the moment, because I think their content are just like they have to share it, and then they say they get more reach and they get more people. But I think those are the money gunners, where if you really want to get amazing information and amazing, I've attended so many Clubhouse discussions where I've really gained amazing information on.
Right.
Yeah, and then also the YouTube and TikTok. I think TikTok, we all seen the TikTok little videos that you can actually really laugh at, and people are getting very creative with the TikTok as well.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah. And yeah, and I think, oh yeah, and then what I've also discovered, Armin, is also to get a lot of email leads. There's a little function on Facebook where you can do a lead capturing campaign where you can actually get people's email addresses. And I think that's such a super cool way of getting people, and then they actually don't mind, but you've got to have a proper lead generation in place actually to get that customer to give you his email address. And I think having that, like we say, put an ice cream in front of a child's face to get them to actually react.
Yeah, maybe I can just come in there. So yeah, you're right. So Facebook has got a very good lead generation form. So you, for the audience out there, so if you promote your post, you can, set, different, I guess, different objectives. And the one is then, for instance, get more engagement, get more website visits, get more video views. And then the one is actually get more leads. So you could either obviously then, push them to your website where there's a form, or you can have to do that natively within Facebook and on LinkedIn, by the way, actually as well. So maybe just 2 cents of advice there. So if you do that form, make sure that the form, that you're not too lazy when you actually design the form, because often you just want to have a form and then you actually get a lot of bad leads in. So especially if you've got, depending on what kind of product or service you're selling, just think it through a little bit. While you're setting up that lead form, that you actually ask the right question, that you really get those people in your lead form that you want to have there. And then I think more for the advanced guys, then you can actually then automate some of those journeys already. Then, so I guess the easy bit is just to have the lead form, and then they will be there, and then you can phone them or email them later on. But for the advanced users, you can actually then automate that message already. So as soon as somebody submits the Facebook lead generation form, then you already trigger an automated email back to them and say, "Hey, Kizal, thanks for filling in the form. We'll be in touch in the next 2 hours," for instance, something like that.
Yeah.
So you can also automate that journey post the click or post the form submission then.
Yeah. And I think also the key here is, Armin, is a nurture campaign. You have to nurture that lead. You have to be, because that lead can eventually, we want to turn our leads into sales.
Yes.
And then we need to nurture, build the relationship. And like Emily has also touched, and I think that's where the creative content will come in. And that's also why I love ConvertKit, because you've been also talking about the A/B testing, and also on ConvertKit, you can do a beautiful A/B testing using your different headlines. And I think that is so super important to do that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and then also, and I think the header specifically, when you use your square brackets, right, in free, and then your to capture the headline, the attention of people on your emails, because emails, people spend, I think, 80% of their day on their phones, on their emails, checking what emails are coming in. And you can just be that one email that will capture you, and that will be the breakthrough that you actually need.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's maybe just to build on that, rather, is then also your sequence of emails, that, because I mean, the fact is, you will not catch everybody with your first email, right? So so either it's different content, or it's a different messaging, and I've seen all kinds of things, maybe from a different sender or a slightly different subject line. But again, it depends on your, I guess, on your objective later on, what you want to achieve. But there's many ways to go about that, in terms of making sure that the person actually then starts seeing, noticing, and acting on your email then.
Yeah. Now that is so true. And then I was I was a lucky winner of having my advertising account on Facebook being shut down, because accordingly, and what's so interesting, and I think this is where Facebook is really, I don't know really how to put it, but I used exactly the same ads that I used 3 months ago. And I used exactly the same content because I was busy compiling, finishing my course. And I wanted to explain to my students actually how it works. And I used exactly the same. And the minute I press my publish button, within 5 minutes, my account was shut down. And then apparently I used one or other things that I don't know why. So I think a tip of advice here is that you have to, if you're going to do your marketing on Facebook, make sure you adhere to the Facebook guidelines and rules. They are super strict at the moment. And if your account has been flagged and they've shut you down, there is no way that you can get your account back online again.
Absolutely, yeah.
I've tried everything. I went through every possible way to get Facebook Live on my messenger chat, and they just told me I've violated the rules. And I said, just tell me what rules I violated, and they feel nothing for you. So yeah, I think there I learned quite a big lesson.
The hard way.
Super easy. You just open another name with another account, another email address, and there you go. That's the only way you can get past this. Yeah, Armin, thank you so much. It was really an honor having you on here. Maybe you can still just check the chat. If there's anybody that still want to chat with you, you are so welcome to do that. And then also, we had some requests privately. If you would love to, you and Emily would love to make a short version of your presentation and maybe share it to me if it's possible. And then everybody that attended this session, that we can maybe send that out to them, but only if it's going to be on your approval.
Yeah, no problem. You can do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's all good from my end too.
Thank you, Em.
Amen. In terms of augmented reality, are we there yet? Could we include it as part of our omni-channel marketing experience to our customers? Or as a market, is our market just not there digitally yet to give the customers that experience?
That's a good question. Yeah, so Giselle, I'm not sure if you've seen our augmented reality webinar, the V5 Africa one.
I did, yes.
10 days ago, yeah. So I think we're definitely there. I think especially, how can I put it? I think we should not underestimate the Namibian consumer at all. I think the Namibian consumer is actually very tech savvy, and technology has caught up a lot over the last few years. People are in the space, especially the younger crowd. They do have, a lot of them do have the right phone and the right equipment to actually, experience that. So I don't have now a good case study for you, a good use case, which I said, well, you as Giselle at either F&B or another brand, could use that. But I think there's definitely a lot of use cases, and especially now also in the COVID times where people actually can't leave, for instance, the house to experience something. It's becoming more and more applicable to actually invest in AR, because people are maybe locked down or can't go anywhere, and with augmented reality they can, for instance, experience how does that new car look like, feel like, with the different color options. How does the new shoes look on my feet, for instance? How does this jacket look on me? How does this kind of glasses? So I think I think just to kind of summarize that, for specific brands and for specific use cases, there's definitely a lot of potential there, and I think that will just increase going forward as well.
Thank you so much, Armin. And so if you would love to we also share Armin's details in the little newsletter that we'll send out, so they will then catch up with Armin afterwards.
So what's next is our next event will be taking place on the 29th of July, and depending on what the president said, like Adele said earlier, we will definitely have a lounge set up, and hopefully we get to socialize with some of our regular members or attendees that usually attend our events. Otherwise, we'll take the event online again, like we did tonight. So the next event might then take place at Windhoek again or
Yes.
online. And the topic will be all about sales and driving profit. So please get involved, stay connected, stay safe. And we always love hearing from you. We always love receiving comments and feedback from you. If there are any ways on which we can improve as a brand, please let us know by emailing your comments to Adele at futurefemales.co. Yeah, and so I'm excited to see everybody again the 29th of July at Windhoek or online. We'll communicate in due time. And then again, in closing, I would just like to thank our main sponsors and partners, which is F&B Namibia, Windhoek Coffee Shop, and Windhoek Express.
Yeah, that was an absolutely amazing event. Thank you so much for being here. And then what we're going to do is we've recorded the session, so we will post it onto our Future Females Windhoek Facebook page tomorrow, and then you can catch the replay of this webinar over there as well. Thank you so much. Until we see each other next month, have an amazing evening. And I think what we can do is just to bow our heads in a few minutes of silence into those that are suffering with COVID at the moment. I think our country is really hit very hard. And I think let us just for 1 minute, let us just bow our heads and that we just pay condolences to those that has lost dear friends. Thank you. Have an amazing evening and hope to see you all next month at the same time and the same place.
Absolutely.
Have an amazing weekend and enjoy the time with your loved ones.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Keep well.